the information and mark down the information that we locate and continue from there. As because I do not finish my photo and the defect, so right now you can see I cannot submit my report. But during your practice and during your trial experience, please try to finish as much possible the information so you're able to see a completed submission, how it looks like. Okay. So now let's take a close look for the other two divisions. With the time being, I will move on faster. For apparel, let's take a close look for the new one. As you can see, the structure, we always break down the structure from header, photo, and different defect and conclusion based on the defect requirement. And now I have in the header part, you always have the pre-populated PO information available because with the booking steps, okay? Simply just bring the information from the platform to the device. And with all this information available, different kind of validation checklist per each of the division, which is totally normal. Again, I will not spend the time for going down into each of the details since we have our account today. And after the training, please directly log in and complete the inspection report for yourself. I would recommend that at least complete 2 inspection reports before each of the divisions meeting happen, because in this case, you're able to bring your questions, or you will able to refresh the memory per each of the division when we explain it to them. Okay. Okay. So and then for the photo part, same thing but differently. In here, we directly ask for the photo for packaging, product, and measurement, but there's no mandatory. Doesn't mean you do not need to input. As long as the information available, the product available, please take the photo as you go. So now we talk about pass and fail. So the defect. So let's take a look. How is our apparel divisions template to define the pass and fail logic? Same thing with the conform non-conformance form. In here, if I remember, you can search function, you can search specific defect. For now, I will only show you the difference of the defect and defected unit. Okay, so in apparel, we have the options. We've been granted access to our inspector to identify when I locate this defect, what kind of severity is that? So I can base on my severity and select the correct how many defects that we locate. So for example, this overwash minor defect, I found 1, but somehow I also found 2 in the other area of the garment, or yeah. So when we found 1 minor, 2 major, how are we able to record it? We're not going to be simply switch to major because it will be only saving the current information. So let's say now I have 1 minor. I want to collect 2 major ones. Next to our defect list, which is on the right-hand side, you have 2 square duplicated. That is a copy function, okay? So that means when we collect that one, our defect name simply been duplicated. So right now I have 2 7.2 overwash incorrect garment washing. Okay, so right now I can select and collect different defect severity if I found out a same defect name into different kind of information. Sorry about that. So now let's take a close look for in the bottom. Right now, my conclusion shows I had total defects found 2 major, 1 minor. But in my acceptance and reject quantity, it's 0 and 1. And also my total defected unit become mandatory. So that means for example, if I found out these 3 defects actually happen within 1 garment, 1 t-shirt, I will need to input all this defect is actually found out in 1, then we just need to input the total defected unit as 1. Now you can see my result automatically found right now, because the most important defect that we found is major. Doesn't matter for how many defects allows in the other severity, the system cross-reference check for the most important severity and with the total defected unit. Right now, our major, we should not able to allow to accept any of them, which is 0. So that says, if I do not have a major defect, and then I have 3 minor, as you can see right now, because even though I have 3 minor defects, but I only found out on 1 garment, as minor is the only severity that I ever locate in this report. So the system will cross-reference check how many minor defected unit I allow to accept. So in the accept is 1, my total unit is 1, my result is pass. I understand this might have some sort of question comes up later on, but please try to use the system and trying to record as many information as possible, because the system allows us to isolate the defects and the defected unit. Especially for our garment, we have a lot of workmanship involved as well. So in order to have a correct, or you're able to target the correct cost and the defect, and you want to make any of the corrective action plans in the future, this will be a great tool to help you to understand where is the problem coming from, and at least our management making a decision to approve, release the shipment or not, they will base on how many defected unit instead of defect. Okay, so that is the part. For our ANG, exactly the same as well. It's just based on different kind of standard sampling identified in the template. And also remember, when I schedule the ANG booking, I put a special attention note upon the booking page. So whenever if we put the information, then the information will be available before we even start our inspection test. You can see that I need to pay attention in some of the area. Okay, same thing, basic order information, validation information, the quantity, the barcode, the photo section. And we have packaging and product information in here. You can see that for our ANG, we only have major. So doesn't matter for which defect that we located in this case. I guess we can also sum up with that one, but because we also allow you to input, sometimes if a product, a hat or a bag can find out either the zipper problem or either the colors or stitching problem, then it could happen with 2 problems in 1 bag. So you can just simply input the 1 information in here. So as you can see, even though my defect is more than my accept range, but my total defected unit is to determine if my result is a pass or fail. So this will be exactly like this point, okay? So now we have 10 minutes left. I will quickly bring everybody back to the platform to review what is the report looks like and where you can download the report. So let me do that. If it's a time allowed, then we can also do one more on the, sorry. Okay. Okay, so let me share my screen again. If the time allowed, then we can also spend some time in the analytics as well. And we also had a Q&A. I would leave the last 5 minutes for us to input the Q&A, because I saw there was a few questions already shared in the channel, in the conversation. Then I will take that one very soon. Okay, so you can see that I need to log in before, just because I'm away with my computer device for some time. For the security reason, after 24 minutes, you will automatically log out. So if we did not identify you have any activities on the platform, it will automatically log out and you only need to re-input it again. For the applications, somehow it's different case, because you already had a device separately the credential access to your device. Okay, so to review the report, remember once I log in, I set my own inspection as the default filter, right? So this is how it happened. When I log in, it will bring me to the manager inspection page, to my own inspection only, and that's my attention. But right now, I will need to check a complete report. So my name doesn't have any complete report. I will select the result with pass and fail. Where's my project? And the project. Sorry, my screen. Okay, I will select my training project. And apply. So to review, some of the members already done. I will maybe use one of our colleagues' trial report for more like a reference for you. As you can see that right now in here, we have inspection result, which is automatically applied, given based on the preset logic. We have the pending approval, which is the approval result. Based on the workflow, someone manager or Adidas manager or for footwear, our group quality manager will have the options to override whatever the decision may be for in here. So that says, let's take a close look for each of the one. You're able to simply click to view report. If this particular inspection, you know it's been done a couple times, you can also view all inspection related to the same PO, especially later phase when we have rework and then we need to go to another booking again to the same information. Sometimes our inspector would like to take previous inspection report as reference. So you can also click open here to review all the activities happen related to this PO. Okay, let's take a close look for two different reports. One pass, one fail. Perfect. Okay, so in here, you can see that we had the scheduled inspection day, we had the start day and submitted inspection day. As I mentioned earlier, the dates will only for reference in here. It will not restrict our inspector to start the inspection either early or after the original schedule day, but the information will provide and available on the platform and also for analytics. You will have the header information all available directly because the platform already understands which PO that we send to our inspector, what is the activity within this inspection, within these orders and SKUs, and the sizes. The report will contain the basic header information as we mentioned earlier. The second tab is including our conclusion, which is giving the result. And if someone making the approval decision, that the updated decision will be also available in here. You will have a conclusion for the total finding and what is the defect and the defected unit. So that is the concept and the idea that we need to separate from now on. Remember, the system allows us to collect more than one defect in one garment. Yes. So for apparel and A&G, this part is particularly important. We might need to change our behavior if there's something different with your current practice, but this will help. In the report, you will have a mini conclusion of the analysis to identify what is the main finding in this particular report. It will give you the statistic information based on the severity or based on our defect quantity and percentage as well. And following down, you will have the validation and checklist and all this information already scheduled and tidied up. Your photo information, your findings in the defect for the product. Whenever the defect you found, you had a short summary in here for the defect name and the severity, and you also had based on the standard and your sample size available. If you want to review the photo closely, you simply just need to click open the photo. And of course, if your device has a better camera and you're able to zoom in the photo as details as possible as well, our system will not restrict, like let's put it this way, it restricts the quality, not over, but you don't need to worry about that, because whenever the device today, most of the device taking the photo, we always allow the, for example, like Apple or Samsung, the size will never we never compress the photo again. We're only keeping the original photo in the platform, and then also giving a thumbnail like this so we can quickly review and print out from the report. So with all this information, to download the report, simply click the print in here. If you like to have different kind of language options to download the report, simply switch the language, then hit the print button. In this case, you're able to have the information right away. Okay, so the report will be nicely done and ready to share anytime. So we have 4 minutes left. Let's, anyway, I will cover this in 1 minute. Sorry about that. So in the insight, which is analytics, once you run enough practice of submitting all the inspection report, you have different options to filter the time frame, the range. If you are the supplier, this information will automatically link to you. So you don't need to select that, but you have the other options available for you to filter. You will have variants of analytics help you to monitor your current performance, and also some of the analytic chart can help you to identify what's your defect rate, and also if you filter the time frame based on the upcoming ETD, you can also see which orders already in spec and which orders not yet in spec. So those information all available for you. So please take a close look during the UAT before the 1st of September. Now I see 2 members raise hand, but there's a lot of questions in the chat. Let me take the question for now. So there's a question for footwear. The inspection number is a unique number which is generated after the booking inspection success. However, it's based on the SKU article, so it has many inspection number on the same one PO. Could you explain why they create like this? I think it will be easier for that. Okay, okay, that's a very good question. So when it comes down to the inspection number, as mentioned earlier, what is called show as group. In order to have the visibility to track each PO with each individual SKU's activities, then I'm not sure we're going to use this case, but sometimes if you rework, you probably also re-inspect a specific size, because maybe only the size 66 has a rework request and you only inspect this after. So in order to track all this PO lines activity, each of the individual numbers will be generated per each of the PO lines. If to quick identify what is the group to understand what is the information as a group instead, so you simply need to open the columns and activate the group number in here. This group number also a unique identifier code across PVATA platform. As you can see, this is the 56 group, and for the others is 44. Someone already in spec, or maybe my account couldn't see that based on my filter right now. Maybe the other members has more group number. But the group number will only available for the inspection running as group. As you can see, for example, like this inspection number 439, it only has one PO, one SKU, one size, and this will not have any group number available. So if you are on the footwear, because most of the type footwear will have one PO, multiple size, then I will recommend you to activate the group number columns, and then you can communicate it from there. And the second question is for Android, app didn't available in Play Store. As we mentioned earlier, for Android device, as Android market is very large, it has of brands, Android market, in order to make sure the version is always up to date, we ask all the Android users to only options to download that is go into the website, adidas.pvat.com, go into the resource download page and download the application from here. Can I get the UAT document? Yes. So the presentation we used earlier contains our UAT guideline. So this information we will share in our newsletter, and you were able to download this file to continue the practice before we go live. Okay, a couple members need to join, already log out, no problem. So as today's training already recorded in our session, so the recording will be shared in next week's newsletter, but we will try to put all the presentation and our basic user guide in today's newsletter, so you're able to have the information and follow the presentation and log into the platform to start a trial from today. And remember, if you have any questions, please summarize these questions to our team-adidas.pvat.com. So we're able to consolidate this information and provide the answer within the newsletter as well, or within our next workshop, so we can make sure that all this information will be relevant to everybody. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for today. And I'm sorry using a little bit extra time, also because of the logging. Okay, so remember, we will have individual division session coming up next week. So please try to log into the system and follow the UAT guideline to finish at least 2 report before the individual division session. So in this case, you can refresh the memory, and when we introduce that, you can enhance the message and understand how the system works as well. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice week. Have a nice rest of the day, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.